Welcome to today's Explainer. Look, today we're breaking down an absolute masterpiece of personal development. This was actually first published way back in 1936, but honestly, the principles inside are more relevant today than ever before. We're talking about Dale Carnegie's legendary blueprint for human relations, and we're going to prove to you that when it comes to true, lasting success, your technical knowledge isn't everything. Actually, it's just the tip of the iceberg. So let's dive right into this massive statistic, 85%. This comes from a really fascinating study done by the Carnegie Foundation. They found that even in highly technical fields, think engineering, your technical knowledge only accounts for about 15% of your financial success, right? Just 15. The other 85%, that's entirely due to what we call human engineering. It's your personality, it's your communication, and how well you deal with people. You know, you can buy technical ability, but the person who combines that knowledge with the power to lead and spark enthusiasm, that's the person who literally rises to the top.
And this quote right here brilliantly illustrates the core psychological foundation of our entire explainer today. John Dewey, a profoundly influential philosopher, pointed out that humans have this deep craving. It's not just a casual wish, it's a gnawing hunger to feel important. Think about it for a second. We can easily satisfy our need for food, sleep, or shelter. But this desire to be important, this craving to be appreciated, it's almost never fully satisfied. And every single principle we're covering today is basically a tool to help you fulfill that universal human craving for the people around you. So how do we actually apply this blueprint in daily life? To make it crystal clear, we've broken it down into 4 actionable pillars for you. 1. Handling people effectively. 2. Making people like you. 3. Winning people over. And 4. Becoming a better leader. Let's jump right into pillar number 1, handling people effectively, the basics of human interaction. This is the absolute bedrock of human engineering.
This beehive analogy perfectly captures the very first major rule. I mean, if you want to gather honey, you don't start by violently kicking the hive, right? Obviously not. Well, in human terms, criticizing, condemning, or complaining about people is just as completely useless. Why? Because it instantly puts them on the defensive. It wounds their precious pride, hurts their sense of importance, and immediately arouses resentment. When we judge others, we aren't dealing with creatures of pure logic. We're dealing with creatures of emotion, totally bristling with pride.
So instead of criticizing, look at that third point. You need to arouse an eager want. The only way to get anyone to do anything is to make them actually want to do it. There's this fantastic story from the source material about the famous writer Ralph Waldo Emerson. He and his son were trying to force a stubborn calf into a barn. They were pushing, pulling, sweating, getting absolutely nowhere. Why? Because they were only thinking about what they wanted. Then a housemaid walked by. She might not have had their formal education, but she had incredible empathy. She simply put her finger into the calf's mouth and let the calf suck her finger while she gently let it right into the barn. She thought about what the calf wanted. That right there is the secret to handling people effectively.
All right, let's move on to pillar number 2, making people like you, becoming welcoming. This builds right on top of our foundation and covers simple, practical ways to make people genuinely feel welcomed by you. This timeless quote proves that human nature hasn't changed a bit over the centuries. We are interested in others when they are interested in us. Showing genuine interest in others pays off immensely for both people involved. Think of it like this. You can actually make more friends in 2 months by becoming genuinely interested in other people than you can in 2 whole years trying to get people interested in you. It's a two-way street that builds absolute immediate rapport.
Just take a look at these 6 simple actions. You don't have to be the loudest or the most charismatic person in the room to be deeply liked. Really simple actions, like just remembering someone's name, which, by the way, is the sweetest sound in any language to that person, or offering a warm, genuine smile. They speak volumes. A sincere smile basically communicates, "I like you, I'm glad to see you, you make me happy," way louder than any words ever could. It makes the other person feel instantly valued.
Okay, now we transition from just being likable to being genuinely influential in pillar number 3, winning people over, the art of influence. How do you get people to adopt your way of thinking without causing a massive rift?
Consider this stark comparison for a second. If you argue with someone and criticize their viewpoint, even if you have absolute, flawless logic on your side, you will almost never persuade them. Why? Because by arguing, you've caused them to lose face. You've essentially destroyed their ego. On the flip side, when you ask questions and share respect for their opinions, you allow them to save face. You gently guide them to an agreement where they feel like, hey, this idea was mine all along. I mean, think about your last heated argument. Did anyone truly win, or did you both just dig your heels in deeper?
Carnegie learned this the hard way at a banquet in London honoring the aviation ace Sir Ross Smith. During dinner, a guest told a story, used a quote, and confidently attributed it to the wrong source. Carnegie publicly corrected him, and the result? The man felt totally humiliated, and the correction only bred resentment, not gratitude. As Carnegie realized right then, telling someone they are wrong in front of others is a direct blow to their intelligence and their pride. You simply cannot win an argument. So, seriously, avoid them like rattlesnakes.
Finally, let's explore pillar number 4, becoming a better leader, changing behavior without offense.
Notice how incredibly powerful it is to give someone a fine reputation to live up to. Human abilities completely wither under harsh criticism, but they absolutely blossom under encouragement. The greatest leaders don't just point out flaws, no, they find the smallest improvement and they praise it lavishly. By giving someone a fine reputation to live up to, like telling them you really believe in their natural leadership or their keen eye for detail, they will do almost anything to avoid letting you down and proving you wrong. So the next time you need your kids, your team, or your employees to do something differently, try following this exact sequence. It allows them to save face. There's a brilliant example of this from our sources involving the General Electric Company. They had this incredible electrical genius named Charles Steinmetz, but he was failing terribly as the head of the calculating department. Instead of demoting him and completely destroying his highly sensitive pride, GE gently gave him a brand new title, Consulting Engineer. It was basically the exact same work he was already doing, but the new title saved his face. Steinmetz was happy, GE kept their genius, and a massive storm was completely avoided. Brilliant, right?
To wrap up our explainer today, we need to look at the ultimate empathy shift, the secret to human engineering.
The golden thread running through this entire manual of human engineering is shifting your focus entirely away from yourself. It's all about cultivating profound empathy. It is the ability to just pause, step into the shoes of the person standing right in front of you, and understand their unique cravings and viewpoints just as well as your own. Look, if you take only one single thing away from this explainer today, let it be this. Increase your tendency to always think in terms of the other person's perspective. It's a real game changer.
I want to leave you with a question to really ponder. Armed with the knowledge that every single person you meet fundamentally craves appreciation and a feeling of importance, whose perspective will you actively try to understand tomorrow? How will you change your approach to build a better relationship? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I highly encourage you to go put these powerful tools into practice.